You should be leveraging case study videos over testimonial videos for your business. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why. And if you stay till the end, I will give you the questions that you need to be asking in order to get the best results possible from your case study videos. Now, my name is Aaron Villa, and I am the founder of AV Media Company. It's a video production agency based out of Austin, Texas, and we help business owners, entrepreneurs, and service-based B2B companies create video content that generates leads and simplifies their sales processes. And so, in my definition, a testimonial video is a video that your client makes for you, giving the best compliments on your business's processes, on their experience, how they felt during their time with you, right? And this is usually a very emotional based video, and it's a very relational based video. A case study video is a video that focuses less on the emotional and relational aspect and more on the transformation that you have brought their business. This is more of a quantifiable result, actual data that you were able to create for them using your service. If you can take somebody from point A to point B and generate them leads, sales, revenue, or anything else that your service provides, that's going to speak way more volumes than the other things. The aspect that the case study shows is the actual tangible results, quantifiable results, money that they will be making, results. That data is going to be presented to them in a way that allows them to understand what they're getting into, understand that it works, and see that other people have gone through that transformation that they desperately want. Okay? And so, for example, a personal story is when I was actually looking into coaching for my business, I didn't want to pull the trigger on an expensive coaching program for many reasons. I was scared. I didn't necessarily have the money up front then. I didn't know if it would work. All these different reasons. And so what I did was I went and reached out to somebody who was already a member of this coaching program. I essentially asked him for the case study on behalf of the company, right? The course. And so I was like, bro, does this actually work? What were the results that you got from it? How do I know this will work for me? And so he laid all the things out. It ended up working really well for him. And then I actually watched a couple of case studies from other students that this course had helped and generated results for. And it was at that point in which I was sold, right? And so these videos really took me from an on the fence, teeter-totter, I'm not sure which direction I want to go into, to a person who bought and has actively participated and really leveraged that to my advantage in the future. So here are a few of the benefits that could really help leverage your video content to make more sales and generate more leads for prospects. So people are more willing to buy if they know it has worked for somebody else, right? That's why reviews on Amazon are such a big deal. If you see something has 5,000 reviews and it has a 5-star rating and it has this excerpt on how it's actually helped them and how they used it, that's such a positive thing for an Amazon product. If something has 2 stars and only 4 people review it, or 1 person reviews it, or no people review it, it's sort of hard to pull the trigger on that purchase because you're just not sure what you're going to get. That is one of the main reasons, is because people want to see results from somebody in a similar position as they are in. So the second point is the best case studies are actually done in interview style, right? And this can be over Zoom or in person. Regardless, the interview style is crucial to this because it allows you to ask specific questions that lead to specific answers of results that you know that you've generated for this client. And so you have a part to play in this because you have the ability to come up with the questions and almost customize it in a way that maximizes the benefits that you have brought towards that client. And the last point I wanted to bring up, the case studies can be a multi-purpose piece of content, which means one case study can actually break down into multiple pieces of content over multiple platforms. So for example, one case study video is the equivalent to one long form YouTube video, right? So you post the long form case study interview on your YouTube channel. That's one piece of content. Then you can actually put that into a written format and you can use that as an email newsletter, right? So that's another piece of content. You can also break that apart into a few different written social media posts. So Twitter, LinkedIn, Threads. So if you generated 3 results that are pretty notable, you can use individually each 3 of those as its own separate post for those written platform. So the last thing is you can use the case study and break it down into short form content. So you can use 2 to 3 of those clips of those results that you've generated specifically and post them on your social media. And that's potentially 8+ pieces of content if you utilize it and leverage it fully. And that can all point right back to your long form YouTube channel that directs people right to the next step in your sales funnel that you would like them to go to. So if you've made it this far into the video, first of all, congratulations. Second of all, thank you very much for watching. And third, like and subscribe this video so that we can continue to make good content like this to educate, to inspire, and to honestly give you the best advice when it comes to generating good business video content. And as promised, I will give you guys the questions in the order that I ask about how to get the best case study interview possible. So the first question I like to ask is, tell me who you are and what it is that you do. We want to lay the foundation by saying, hey, who are you and what exactly do you do? Because if somebody watching the video isn't in that industry, it might not be the best fit for them. It might not be the best video for them to watch. And so we want the client to lay out exactly who they are and what they do, who they serve, and what they offer. The next question we want to ask is, where was your business at before working with us? And where is it at now, right? How many leads were you getting before you worked with us? What was the content you were making and the media you were using? What were the methods and the channels you were using to get these leads to come knocking on your door? Oh, I was making $2,000 a month, now making $40,000 a month. It just looks so much more massive and desirable for the person watching, right? So the next question I would ask is, what was the one thing that you were struggling with before you were working with us, right? And you could say one thing, you could say what were the top 2 things you were working with. The reason we want to do this is because we want to just highlight how big of an issue it was for that person and how they couldn't really get past that roadblock without our service, without our help. And then the next question I like to ask is, how did we help you solve that problem? And then they go into a little bit of the process and a little bit of like the overview of what we did to help. We not only implemented these strategies and systems, but we helped educate you. And now that you have the keys to do it, you'll always have that knowledge, right? Was it easier than you thought? I love this question because sometimes people don't pull the trigger just because of the fear of how complex it'll be, the fear that they can't actually accomplish what they're going to pay you to help them with. So I like to ask, was it easier than you thought? Because 9 times out of 10, the client's like, oh yeah, it was way easier than I thought it would be. You guys made us feel very comfortable and we were able to do it and we got better each week. So next, the specific pointed questions you can ask here are like, so on the videos we helped you with, how many views did you get compared to what you were getting before? Some of my clients have gotten hundreds of thousands. Some of them have generated millions of views over a time period. And so I want people to know that about the work that we were able to do with that client. How did your brand change in the eyes of others, right? So a lot of the times when you're making video content and you are putting yourself out there, putting yourself on display as an authority in a certain market or space, people view you differently. And whenever I had my first podcast, I started my first podcast, which I'm actually going to start back up pretty soon. So stay tuned for that. People started to look at me different. They started to look at me as the authority in the space. So for me, how did people start to treat you? How did they look at you after you started posting this content and getting the results? And then how has this video content, this brand authority, opened doors for you in your business, right? And that's another huge thing with video content. When you establish yourself as an authority and you kind of make a name for yourself in the space, cool things start to happen and doors start to open. And so whatever those specific pointed questions look like for you, strategically point them in a direction that makes it sound greater and maximizes the results. And so another question I like to ask as we wrap up is, would you recommend our service to somebody you know? And this is an actual like strategic thing for referral based, like later, you can catch up with them and say, hey, would you mind actually pointing me in the contact, in the direction of that person? But then they on camera will be able to say, oh, I would highly recommend anybody who's in XYZ company to use this service if you want to grow, if you want to get leads, XYZ result, right? And then the very last question that I always ask, and I recommend you always ask at the very end is there anything else that you would like to say about our service and how it's helped you? Because some people, they like to go on a rant, and this is where they can actually bring that emotion from a testimonial video into the case study video as well, almost making it like a 2-for-1. This is where they're able to say those things that they've wanted to say. And the thing is, when you interview people, when you ask people, hey, I would love to interview you like a case study, would you be open to that? People light up. They get excited about, first of all, helping, and second of all, being on camera, being interviewed. There's something about it that no matter how many people watch, it always makes people feel a little bit special, which is a really cool thing to see. And so asking this question allows them to almost show like the reciprocity of asking them to be on the show. So I hope this video has helped you understand why I believe case studies are the next thing for your business instead of a testimonial video. Like I said, you can do both still. I would prioritize case studies. I feel like they have the most leverage to be used for a business owner and how these can potentially help grow your business. So if you want to see how we can help you generate leads and simplify your sales process, the first link in the description will have a video that describes how we can do that for you at AV Media Company. And thank you for watching this video. I appreciate it. There's going to be other links in the description. Check those out. God bless, and we will see you soon.